Today, let's talk about recognizing if you are in the middle of a midlife crisis, and better yet, what you can actually do about it. I'm a therapist. I've read everything I can get my hands on when it comes to midlife crises, and I'm in the middle of a midlife crisis. There is no age, there is no height, there is no weight, there is no picture of somebody in the dictionary that says if you look like this, you're in the middle of a midlife crisis. It's actually quite different. Most of the time it's misdiagnosed because we don't really think about it coming our way. We hear about it, about the friend that buys the Ferrari or the Trans Am. We think about it when somebody takes off from their husband and dates a 22-year-old boy. We find out those things and we go, oh, yeah, they must be in the middle of a midlife crisis. But when it comes to ourselves, when we're not outwardly acting out in that way, it's hard for us to decipher. Some indications that you're having a midlife crisis begins with the fact that you're not happy, not being as fulfilled as you'd like to in your current life. You feel as though you're missing out. You're wondering if those dreams and aspirations that you had as a child, will they ever come to fruition in your adult life? You begin to wonder these types of things. And fear connects with you because we're fearful, will we ever get to that level that we dreamed we would? Will we ever achieve those goals that we had the desire and belief that we would in this lifetime? And will we ever get to go on those amazing trips and do those amazing things that we dreamed about as a child? It's that fear factor of, will I be healthy enough to do it when the time actually comes, or will the time actually ever be present? So if you're going through these things right now, and I am too, let's talk about the steps that you can take today to help overcome and alleviate this midlife crisis over a period of time, to feel better about yourself, but better yet, to work through it, to see the value in it, and to change your life through the process. Step one that we can do is to realize that as we go through this midlife crisis, it's normal, it's commonplace. Most people in their lifetime will go through it in one shape or form or another, okay? Doesn't make it any easier, but when we know other people are going through it, you know what? It just seems easier to me. It's just there's more people in the same boat dealing with the same crisis. I feel okay about that. The second thing is that I'm working on a day-to-day basis to not judge myself, to not be so tough on myself. I judge myself against others. When I see only what I want to see, really. Think about it. We see their accolades, we see their accomplishments, their lifestyles, and we begin to feel bad about our own life, where we are on the totem pole. And I've realized that when I'm able to identify that I'm doing that, when I'm identifying the fact that I'm judging myself against others, I'm aware of it. It doesn't stop me from judging myself against others, but it makes me aware of the fact that I'm doing it. And I also become aware of the fact that I'm judging myself against a story that I've created about that other person. And so it makes me feel better, and it makes me what? More aware. The third thing that I have begun doing is I have begun journaling about my childhood. The things that I wanted to do as a kid, those things that I still haven't done, okay? That's a big deal. And I'm currently putting together a handwritten list, a to-do list really, of what I want to do in this lifetime. The 10 most important things on that list. And you can always increase that list or scale it down. And I'm also beginning a small vision board. A small vision board to remind myself of those 10 things on my list that I've always wanted to do since I was a child. A good example is I've always wanted to take a trip to Australia. I've always wanted to see New Zealand. I've always wanted to go to Africa. There's so many things. I've always wanted to be around wild elephants. I haven't done any of that. And that fear factor about never doing that has really gotten to me, and I want a way out of that fear. Last but not least, I've realized that I have things to be grateful for. And I focus on those things, the people in my life, my career, the stuff that gives me joy. I focus on that, and I refocus my empty feelings. Okay, the empty feelings that I see, the things that I'm grateful for. This is a tough one. And I know it's hard because in my heart, that comparison to other life is futile, and I know that. But it makes me feel bad, and it takes me away from my accomplishments and puts me on the sidelines, really complaining and quite sad. Grateful can be hard to come by. It's hard to be always grateful for the things that you have, but if you work toward it, it'll overcome that negativity and that fear factor. In the meantime, it's a state of mind. And when we embrace the midlife crisis instead of hate it, we get answers quicker, right? And that's good news, because a midlife crisis seems to be more questions than answers. And you know what? I'm ready to find the answers to my life. Try this out. I'm going to be putting together my vision board this week, and live your true life today.